Okay, let's unpack this. That feeling, right? Staring at a blank page, trying to cram your whole potential onto a resume,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you're just starting out, it feels, well, huge. How do you even begin to make it grab someone's attention?
It really is a hurdle. And, for jobs outside of campus placements, that piece of paper, that's often it. That's the first cut.
Exactly. Which is why we're doing this deep dive today. We got our hands on a transcript from a real workshop on resume best practices.
Like insider info.
Pretty much.
Right.
Hearing from people who actually know what works. So our mission here is to pull out the really practical stuff, the advice you can actually use to build a resume that, sells you.
Right. This isn't just theory. It's advice from a session meant to help people, actually make better resumes.
Okay.
We're digging into what the expert said, trying to get to the core of it.
So let's get into it. This workshop really hammers home how vital that resume is, especially off campus.
Definitely.
And I like the analogy they use. It's kind of like a first date. You got to present your best self.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You wouldn't show up unprepared, right?
Right.
You want that good first impression. Your resume does that when you're not there in person. It has to make them curious, make them want to know more.
Makes sense. And this transcript laid out these 10 commandments for resumes, sort of the basic rules. First one, simple, one page only. Why is that such a big deal, especially for, freshers?
Well, think about recruiters. They're swamped. Especially for entry-level roles, they might only glance at it for, seconds.
Wow, seconds.
Yeah, seriously. So one page forces you to be concise, to put your best stuff front and center. It makes it easy for them to quickly see what you offer.
Yeah.
Shows you respect their time, too.
Yeah, that's crucial then.
Okay.
The presenter even joked, recruiters don't have the patience to fill a form. So yeah, multiple pages are out.
Definitely.
Commandment 2, an impactful headline right at the top. What does that mean exactly?
So get a super short summary, tells them immediately your main strength or the job you want.
Oh.
Think data engineer or maybe competitive programmer or the examples from the sample files, UI UX designer. It's your hook. This is who I am professionally.
Got it. Like a subject line for you. Okay, third thing, photos. Mostly unnecessary, it says.
Generally, yeah. It's flagged as optional. Maybe for something super visual like UI UX design, a professional photo could fit.
Right.
But for most tech jobs or business roles, it just takes up space you could use for skills or projects.
Good point. Number 4, no declaration. What's that about?
You know those lines at the end, I declare all this is true.
Oh, yeah?
Recruiters basically assume it's true. They don't really read that part. They care about the content of the resume, the proof. So It's just wasted space.
Okay, skip the declaration. Commandment 5 feels basic but critical.
Yeah.
No spelling or grammar mistakes.
Absolutely critical. Even small typos. They scream lack of attention to detail.
Ouch.
And that's a skill you need almost everywhere. So proofread and proofread again. Maybe get someone else to look. It shows you care.
Totally agree. Then number 6, don't waste real estate. Meaning,
Use that whole single page. Don't leave big blank areas.
why not?
Well, if you've been to a decent school, done projects, internships, empty space kind of looks like you don't have much to highlight, or maybe haven't bothered to think about it. Fill it wisely.
Right. Be strategic. And that flows into number 7, which seems really important. Internships and projects need to focus on outcomes.
Yes, this is huge.
Not just listing what you did.
Exactly. Saying I learned Python is okay, but saying I used Python to automate X, saving Y amount of time, that's way better.
Oh, quantifiable results.
Precisely. The transcript was clear. Just attending a workshop or doing an internship isn't enough for the resume if you can't show what came out of it. Show the impact.
So instead of worked on a team project, it should be more like collaborated with 3 others to build an app that got X downloads.
Perfect example. Show, don't just tell. Okay, next is be kind to the reader. Simplify language. What's the deal there?
It means know your audience. Super technical jargon is fine if you're applying for a super technical role where the hiring manager gets it.
Okay.
But for, say, a business role or even some HR screeners, they might not understand deep tech speak. It could just confuse them.
So what's the solution?
The advice is smart. Have multiple resume versions. Tailor the language.
Yeah.
One for core tech roles, maybe another highlighting transferable skills for different jobs.
That makes a lot of sense. Custom versions. Okay, number 9. LinkedIn profile is a must. Why now? It's just expected these days, isn't it? It's your online professional identity.
True.
It backs up your resume, lets you add more detail, get recommendations, connect with people. Recruiters will often look you up on LinkedIn.
Good point. Got to keep that updated too. And last commandment, number 10, update your resume regularly, like every 2 months. Seems frequent.
It does, but think about it. Especially early on, you're learning and doing new things all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Keeping it fresh means you always have your latest skills, your newest project on there. Plus, if a cool opportunity pops up unexpectedly, you're ready. You don't have to scramble trying to remember what you did 6 months back. It keeps you proactive.
Okay, those are the 10 commandments. Solid foundation.
Yeah.
But the workshop covered more, right? Like, file naming. Does that really matter?
It seems small, but yeah, instead of just resume.pdf, something descriptive like your name data analyst-python SQL.pdf. Much better.
Why?
Helps the recruiter stay organized. They can see immediately who you are and what you're aiming for. Simple thing, but makes their life easier. Avoids your resume getting lost.
Little things add up. Another point was content over template. Looks aren't everything.
Exactly. A clean professional template is good, helps readability, but fancy design won't save you if the content isn't strong and relevant. Substance first.
Makes sense. And the transcript also hammered home tailoring the resume again. We touched on language, but it's more than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Read that job description like it's a treasure map. Identify the keywords, the required skills, the experiences they mention. Then make sure your resume highlights those things prominently. Maybe reorder sections, tweak bullet points. A generic, one-size-fits-all resume, it just doesn't cut it.
So customization is king. And using impactful language too, right? Action verbs, results.
Yes. Always use strong verbs. Managed, developed, increased, reduced, led, and quantify whenever you possibly can. Increased efficiency by 15%, managed a budget of $6, led a team of Y, concrete evidence.
What about extracurriculars? Where do they fit in, especially for tech jobs?
For technical roles, your tech skills and projects are definitely the main event.
Right.
But extracurriculars aren't useless. They can show teamwork, leadership, responsibility, especially useful if your technical project list is a bit thin.
So use them to fill space if needed.
Sort of, but be strategic. Don't just list member of coding club, say organize coding workshops for 50-plus students, or managed club finances raising X amount in funding. Show initiative and results there too.
Got it. The transcript also briefly mentioned addressing career gaps. Said it needs a tailored approach. Any general advice?
Yeah, gaps can worry recruiters sometimes. Honesty is usually best. Yeah. Explain briefly what you were doing, maybe further study, personal development, family reasons, and try to frame it positively if possible, perhaps highlighting skills gained during that time.
Okay. And there was this idea of basic versus creative projects. What elevates a project?
Doing the standard class assignments shows you learned the basics. That's fine. Right. But projects where you identified a unique problem and built something creative to solve it, that really stands out, like the examples they gave, the wet bulb temperature app or fixing a broken clock creatively. It shows initiative, passion, real problem solving, generic stuff everyone does, less memorable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Go beyond the syllabus. And a really key warning was know your resume inside out.
Oh, this is crucial. If they ask you about something on your resume and you fumble or can't explain it, big red flag. It suggests maybe you exaggerated, or worse, didn't actually do it. You need to be ready to talk confidently about every single point, your role, the tech, the challenges, the results.
So only put stuff on there you can truly speak to, but hyperlinks. Good idea.
Yeah, definitely. Linking to your portfolio, your GitHub, specific projects online, it gives them instant access to see your actual work. Much more powerful than just reading about it. Just make sure the links work.
Good tip. And applicant tracking systems, ATS. Briefly mentioned using ChatGPT for help. What's the quick lowdown on ATS?
Okay, so lots of bigger companies use software, ATS, to scan resumes first.
Before Eamon sees it.
Often, yeah. They look for keywords, specific formatting, so your resume needs to be like ATS friendly. Using the right industry terms, clear structure things like ChatGPT can actually give you tips on that. Helps you get past the robot filter.
Right, important hurdle. What about hobbies and interests? Do they matter?
Generally, less so for technical roles, especially if you've got strong projects and skills to talk about. They can be okay filler if space allows, or maybe show a bit of personality or transferable skills, but focus on the relevant stuff first. And, avoid overly generic hobbies.
Like reading or movies.
Yeah, maybe not the most impactful unless you can relate it somehow. Finally, networking was mentioned briefly. How does the resume fit with that? Networking is huge for finding opportunities, sometimes ones that aren't even advertised.
Right.
When you make those connections, having a polished, ready-to-go resume makes a much better impression. It's often the first concrete thing you'll share. It backs up the conversation.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, the core message seems to be concise, that one-page rule. Be impactful, strong headline, focus on outcomes. Be tailored, customized for the role, and keep it alive. Update it regularly.
Exactly. Think like the recruiter. What do they need to see quickly to know you're worth talking to? Your resume is your main sales pitch for getting that interview.
So for everyone listening, the challenge is to actually do this. Look at your resume. Is the headline sharp? Are your bullet points about results? Are you tailoring it?
Yeah, take these ideas and apply them. And remember, it's not a one-and-done thing. Your resume grows with you. Keep tweaking it, keep adding achievements. It reflects your professional journey.
And here's something interesting the workshop pointed out sometimes. The bar for resume quality isn't actually that high.
That's true.
Meaning, if you actually put in the effort, make it clear, concise, results-focused, tailored stamp, you can genuinely stand out from a lot of the competition just by getting these fundamentals right. Consistent effort pays off.